By this time, you would know that we are suckers for data coming out of authoritative government organizations. Now, authoritative doesn't mean you can't question it. Authoritative means something that comes out of a government organization officially, so it has the stamp of the government, so somebody is accountable. In this case, that government institution is accountable. And among government institutions giving us data, there is Niti Aayog. They are the tops, they are the stars, because they've been producing a lot of a pile of data in this completely data starved news environment. So first of all, thank you very much. They've just produced a new report basically ranking India's states, large and small, and union territories on health indicators. The report is called Healthy States, Progressive India, report on the ranks of states and union territories. Now, when I said sucker, you might even think that sucker means you got fooled. No, I'm not using sucker in that sense. I'm using sucker in a positive sense, because data helps us lay the foundation of our larger arguments, also our political arguments. I know in these days, people say journalists don't want to be confused with facts. Journalists or debaters don't want to be confused with data, but I'm old-fashioned and I know that all of you also appreciate the fact that we look at data wherever it comes from and cut and dice it for you. So once again, we have this data on the ranking of the states. Now what's made headlines? I will come to that. What's made headlines is that UP, Kerala is number 1, predictable, UP is the last. I mean, you could say predictable, it's a Bimaru state, but the last means it's even lower than Bihar, lower than Jharkhand, lower than Chhattisgarh. It's a Bimaru state, but among the Bimaru states, it's at the bottom of the pile. But you've seen the other headline also with the same data. And the other headline is something that Amitabh Kant, the CEO of Niti Aayog, has also said, that when it comes to the delta, which means average change or total change or net change, in terms of the delta, in terms of the change or positive change in this case, UP is number 1. So UP has made the most positive change, and as you would imagine, Kerala has not made that much positive change. There is positive change, but not that much because it's already very high up. So that's where the base effect comes in. So think about it. UP begins the base, say, at 35, 36 points out of 100. Kerala begins already at 82, so how much further can you do? And when you are that low down, you have more scope. So I will talk about this. How can the same state be number 1 and number 19? Because there are 19 states in the grouping of large states. So basically, any state which has more than 1 crore population, in fact, in this case, any state which has more than 4 or 5 million population, which is bigger than, say, Tripura, Manipur, etc., is a large state. Among those 19 states, Kerala is the top, UP is the last. Now, how did they arrive at this data? So, Niti Aayog, if I read the report, they picked up 24 separate indicators of healthcare and healthcare outcomes in all the states and union territories of India. These were divided into 3 basic categories, 3 fundamental categories. One, health outcomes. It had the highest weight, and I will tell you, if this was an examination, how will the marks be set out? That's quite fascinating. It was the health outcomes. Health outcomes also have different subsections. One is key outcomes, that is 4 indicators under key outcomes, and intermediate outcomes, 7 indicators under that. So 11 out of these 24 indicators are under health outcomes. These only apply to the bigger states, to the big 19 states. These add up to 750 points or marks, if you want to put it like that. You can take your pick. Then there is governance information. That means what kind of data is available, how reliable it is. This is also divided into 2. Health monitoring and data integrity, which means how good and how effective is your health monitoring and how good is your data, how reliable is your data. That has 1 indicator. And then governance, right? Governance is 3 indicators. So 1 plus 3, 4 more indicators. These amount to 140 marks or points. And then key inputs and processes in healthcare and service delivery, that has 9 indicators. That together accounts for 180 points of marks, so 20 for each. So for the big states, the total examination, the total paper is 1070 marks. For the small states, it's 600 marks, because as we know, some of the categories, particularly in health outcomes, do not apply to smaller states. So out of these, you see how these states have come, and that's the important part, and that's how we can understand the rankings better. Now, before I go further, I will also make one more point to you, because when I am giving you this analysis, you will find, and if you are curious enough, which I think all of you are, you will catch me and you will say, Shekhar Gupta, why are you not mentioning West Bengal among the big states? That's because for some reason West Bengal has stayed out of this survey. Now we have to find out why West Bengal stayed out, but West Bengal is not in this survey, so they have not been rated. So I need to get that little point out of the way. Now see the rankings. How can somebody be 1 and 19? So Uttar Pradesh on overall rankings and overall say marks, it's 30.57 out of 100. If 100 is perfect, Uttar Pradesh is 30.57. It is the poorest in India for a large state, right? But in terms of improvement over the reference year, over the previous year, preceding year, it has made an improvement of 5.52 points, which means maybe the previous year it was 26.09 points or something like that. It's now 30.57, so the improvement is 5.52. That is the highest improvement over whatever base for any state. That's how state which is number 19 out of 19 is number 1 on the difference, on the positive difference it has made to itself, or which has the highest delta. So that is how UP is the last but also the first. So you can choose what you prefer, but the fact is that UP remains the last. I will choose that, and also that UP began with a very low base and it's still a very low base, which is not a good thing at all, because when I tell you about other states, and I will go through this ranking one by one, you will see that many other states which you would have expected to do worse than UP or much worse than UP are actually doing much better than UP. We saw just the other day on Nal Se Jal, Bihar doing so much better than Uttar Pradesh. And you can't even say Bihar has easy water available, groundwater is available. That same situation prevails in most of Uttar Pradesh also, barring some areas like Bundelkhand and some other drier areas. UP has very easy availability of groundwater as well as water sources, water streams, rivers, etc. But UP is doing very badly. Now, UP 30.57, 5.52. So, number 1 on Delta, number 19 on overall national rank. Then you come to Assam. Assam also has the second highest Delta. So, second highest improvement of 4.34. But Assam's rank nationally is 12 out of 19. That is Assam's total marks. In fact, I'd prefer to use marks, that's easier to understand. Assam's total marks are 47.74. It's still already more than 50% better than Uttar Pradesh, right? And we think that the Hindi heartland, we call it the heartland because heartland has the power and the votes, and what they decide, who they decide, rules all of India. So see, even a distant state like Assam with many disadvantages is doing at least 50% better than Uttar Pradesh on health indicators. Telangana. Now Telangana is a state which is the same rank both in overall ranking and on deltas. So nationally, Telangana out of the 19 big states is number 3 with 69.96. That's almost 70. That is 2.5 times, almost 2.5 times. Not exactly 2.5 times, I'd say 2.33 times higher than the state of Uttar Pradesh. So Telangana has 69.96. It's also improved by 4.22. So remarkable for a state which is already at a high level to make such a big improvement. So see this, and you will see these charts on the screen, courtesy Niti Aayog and its report that will be sharing with you. But I am explaining these to you. Then come to Maharashtra, again one of India's big states, number 5 in overall rankings. Not bad, number 5 in overall rankings, but also number 4 in improvements, right? 3.6, right? Jharkhand, big surprise. Jharkhand is number 13, which means way ahead of UP, Bihar, etc. Jharkhand is number 13 In national rankings, number 5th on improvement or delta, positive delta, that is 3.38. Madhya Pradesh, no surprise, at 17, right? 18, 19, 20, 17. You have to find the Bimaru states thereabouts. So Madhya Pradesh 17 rank, but again improvement at number 6, 3.35. And then you come to states after that when this delta suddenly drops from 3.35 to 1.74. That is half. That's for Punjab. Punjab is number 8 nationally, number 7 on improvements. So it's about the same as it was before. Tamil Nadu, number 2 in the country, very remarkable and very high scores, just a little bit below Kerala. Tamil Nadu number 2, again in improvement, number 8. Gujarat, everybody is interested in Gujarat, and that's also a state that will go for elections next year. Gujarat number 6 nationally, not bad, pretty good, just a step below Maharashtra. And number 9 in overall improvement. They could have done better than this at 1.14. Then Andhra Pradesh, number 4 nationally. So see, number 1, 2, 3, 4, it's all the southern states, and that's where this southern state and Hindi heartland contrast comes in, and that's what T. N. Nayanan meant when he wrote in his column a couple of weeks ago that you now really have two Indias coming up, and maybe Veer Das was right. Of course, he used it rhetorically that Veer Das was right that there are two Indias, but there are two Indias. Even when you look at these indicators, you can see these two Indias, and that's why facts are needed. That's why data is needed. That's why numbers are needed. In fact, as I read this report, I'm struck by a line from the foreword that Amitabh Kant, the CEO of Niti Aayog, has written. In that foreword, he says, what gets measured gets done, which means you have to have the data to start working on it. Because once you have the data, once you have your scan reports, your blood pressure, your blood report, etc., pathology report, then you know what the problem is and you can start treating it. So this data is like your path report for our country, and I would say that it doesn't look good for the Hindi states. In fact, if anything, it just shows you the contrast between them and the more disciplined southern states, and that's clear everywhere. So Tamil Nadu, I told you, is number 2, Gujarat is number 6. In fact, all 6 states at the top are south of the Vindhyas. So you can understand what I am saying. Andhra Pradesh at number 4 nationally, right? Bihar, as you would expect, number 18. So the only consolation Bihar can have is we are ahead of Uttar Pradesh. People thought we were worse than Uttar Pradesh. So this is like the league of also rans. You know, after an Olympic or World Cup tournament, 4 go to semi-finals. They play for gold, silver, and then bronze. And after that, people play for minor placings. Indian hockey used to be like that until the other day, until a few years ago. So you played for number 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. India did finish 12 more than once in these tournaments, as does Pakistan quite often right now. So these states then bring up the rear, that is UP and Bihar. So Bihar's consolation is, I'm not the last, UP is behind me, right? So Bihar is number 18, and in net improvement also Bihar is very poor. Bihar is 11 with just a net improvement of 0.76. So all this talk of prohibition and this having improved rural health greatly. Bihar is also a much more rural state than Uttar Pradesh, but has done very poorly. And then there are some surprises not necessarily on the upside. There is Haryana at number 11. I thought a state as rich as that would have done much better. Number 11 out of 19 in national rankings for big states, and its improvement actually, I was almost mistakenly saying it's very minor. The fact is, regrettably, that it has no improvement. The change in its indicators is actually negative. It is minus 0.55. And then you have Karnataka, again surprises me a very great deal. Number 9 nationally in its ranks, but number 19 in overall improvement. You know how much improvement they've made, Karnataka? No improvement. In fact, they have deteriorated, and way more than Haryana. So they have deteriorated by 1.37%. If I make something like a like-to-like comparison, also because these are neighboring states, Karnataka has deteriorated by about as many points as Tamil Nadu has improved in this period. And maybe there are some lessons there. Kerala, of course, everybody likes to talk about Kerala. So I can tell you that Kerala is number 1 nationally without a doubt. Also, on improvement, it still has made substantial improvement. It is number 12. Then if you come to smaller states, and smaller states, you might say all the small states are just about 1 crore of people, so why are you getting so interested? But smaller states include all of the Northeast. So it is very important. And once again, we noticed something that we had seen earlier with the National Family Health Survey phase 5. And that tells us that Nagaland, the most poorly governed state in India. So on health indicators also, Nagaland is the poorest at 27. 27, worse than UP. UP is 30.57, Nagaland is 27. Terrible. And really something that we need to worry about. And leaders of Nagaland, including leaders of the insurgency, who make so much money from extortion, etc., or what they call as tax collection, they need to worry about, because Nagas are wonderful people. They are very athletic people. They have very hard lives in the mountains. For them to have these indicators is a shame for India, and this must change. So Nagaland is 27, they've improved a little bit. They improved by 3.3. So they have made some improvement, but a little bit. Mizoram, on the other hand, is the best among the small states. So Mizoram is a state which had insurgency, right, for a very long time, and a bad insurgency. Mizoram now has a score of 75.77. That's almost in the Telangana, Kerala, Tamil Nadu ballpark. Brilliant. So Mizoram is 75.77. This tells you what happens when a state or when a people actually give up violence and insurgency and join the political democratic mainstream and reap the peace dividend. So you can see Mizoram, for me, Mizoram is the finest example of a state which has reaped the peace dividend. And that's why everybody has to be careful not to stir up, not to allow any new trouble to stir up in Mizoram, because Mizoram is a shining example of how Indian democracy, Indian constitutionalism can take separatist movements in its stride, give them space, and accordingly people benefit. Their aspirations, their political aspirations for power are fulfilled, but they also do better. So Mizoram at 75.77 is way ahead of India's richest state. Richest small state though, but richest state by far, that's Goa. So Goa is 53.68 and Mizoram is 75.77. And then surprise of surprises, this is not among the states but union territories, Delhi. Delhi is 49.85, although it's made sizable improvement, 9.68, but it is 49.85, which is terrible for union territories. In fact, it's the 5th among union territories. It has made the most improvement. So it's a bit like Uttar Pradesh of the union territories rankings. At the bottom, but has made the most improvement. So Delhi can always say we are number 1 because we made the most improvement, as UP can say, but it also tells you that Delhi is doing very badly. In fact, if I find a like-to-like comparison, Delhi's health score of 49.85 is about the same as Haryana's, as 49.26. So Delhi and Haryana about the same doesn't make so much sense. Delhi should have been doing a lot better with so many hospitals, so many mohalla clinics, so much other stuff, and so much awareness. But something is wrong, and Delhi needs to address this on priority. So Delhi, in fact, which is just about the same level as Haryana, is just barely above a state called Jharkhand, which otherwise in our mindsets is a very poor backward state of India. So Jharkhand is 47.55, Haryana is 49.26 and Delhi is 49.85. So that's a big important finding from this survey. Then you see who's deteriorated the most and who's improved the most. That's again a very good indicator. So look at the improvement. Telangana has improved from 4 to 3. Well done, because at the top it gets much more competitive. Gujarat has improved from 7 to 6, again wonderful, because again top 8, it's very competitive. Punjab has improved from 9 to 8, excellent. Also compared to what Haryana has done and Delhi have done, Punjab has done well, gone from 9 to 8. Assam has overall a poor score, but from 15 they've gone to 12, so they've made a sizable improvement. And again, if you see the smaller states, then Mizoram, Sikkim, Meghalaya have all improved. Nagaland has also improved, but still remains way below everybody else at the bottom of the pile nationally for any state. What Niti Aayog points out, however, is, which is interesting, that from the last survey, that is for 18-19, this is for 19-20, from the last survey, the overall gap between the top states and the rest, the top state and the lowest state, has narrowed a little bit. Then the gap was 56.54, now the gap is 51.6. I suspect it's mostly come from the improvement that Uttar Pradesh has made, despite being the last in the group of 19 states. Now we also need to look at states which have done very poorly. These are Karnataka, Haryana, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh. And there is no BJP Congress thing in this. You can't say Niti Aayog is the government, so they must have given BJP fellows a few more grace marks or leaked the paper to them and Congress people less, or maybe media is biased and they are picking up only the BJP states and criticizing them. Because if you see these states, the worst performing states in terms of the improvement made or the deterioration suffered, then Karnataka, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh, 3 are BJP run states, and Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh are both Congress run states. So once again, I will not bore you with more data because I am sharing the entire report with you. So please read the report. It's very interesting and there are lots of annexures there, which I think anybody, not just a specialist, but anybody can mine for more information, more data, more understanding. And I know that I'm not a specialist, so I can't make sense of all of that. But please keep that handy because it will be useful. Now there are also sort of cut and diced data on various indicators for the states, but I will tell you a couple of things that stand out. For example, health outcomes, Kerala, remarkable, 85.97, that's almost 86, that's brilliant. And then you have several states in sort of the early 70s, low 70s range, which is very good, that is Maharashtra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. And then you come down, Uttar Pradesh, which is 25. In fact, I will count for you the last 4. And you will then speak the word that I am shy of speaking right now, but I will. So, Uttar Pradesh 25.64, the last, uske upar thoda sa, second least worst, if I may put it that way, Bihar at 30.81, Madhya Pradesh at 34.5 and Rajasthan at 5. So what is the word or what is the acronym that you want to use? It is BIMARU. So once again, you can see why these states are called BIMARU states, and they have to get their act together. Because today, their weight is taking all of India and all of India's national indicators and rankings down, in spite of the fact that they have the political power and they have the voting power and the numbers that decide who rules India.